Hey guys, it's Ron Bass, your source for inspiration. Oh, the Ron Bass Show, your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, humor. Oh boy, lots of humor.
Yes.
Mr. Brent Atterbury, what say you, sir?
Hey.
Hey.
Happy to be here.
Hey, it's for horses.
A little cold out today, a little
cold
snow,
out today.
but that's okay.
It's okay.
It's winter.
It's winter
supposed
time.
to. Here. Anyway.
Let's see, February the 12th,
Yes.
13th?
Yes.
In Missouri,
12th.
United States.
Yes.
We have people from Russia and Ukraine and India and Pakistan and
Wow.
all kinds of cool people.
Today's a big day.
Today's a big day. And you know what? Some of these subscribers are sending me messages. So I want to respond to some of these messages.
Good. Good idea.
Yeah, good idea. So the first one was a young lady. I think it was a young lady. Could be a young man. By the way, I noticed the numbers. So I think it's like 80% of our listeners are under 40. And maybe 10% are like between 40 and 50. So we have a very young audience. I don't think I recognized that when I first started doing this. We talked about that. But the message it's the same message for whether you're old or young, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We want to have an impact in your life. We want to have a positive impact into your life. We want to make a difference, even if it's a little difference. It doesn't have to be a big difference. It's okay. I was talking to my jiu-jitsu coach last night. I mentioned to you earlier before the podcast. And I said, look, man, you're a great athlete and you're a very accomplished competitor. But you have to recognize that the average student walking into our martial arts gym is somebody that just wants to get some, they don't want to be bullied anymore. They want to be able to stand up for themselves. And they need the confidence to do that. And the only way to get the confidence is to have knowledge and then to train, right? So I said, it's fine for you to always want to have people that you develop into killers, so to speak. But I think it's more important to work with the average guy that's coming along that just wants to build up a little bit of self-confidence in himself. That's a big, big deal. So I say that to say this to the audience. Look, man, you don't have to be the biggest and the best and the whatever. If you can just improve your life a little bit as you go through your life, a little bit all the time, you're going to wind up in a place you won't believe. It's not that complicated. You just have to have some good sources for information, mentorship. You need to educate yourself. You need to work out every day. You need to eat right. You need to have goals, all the different things that we talk about all the time, and stay the course. The biggest problem I see in martial arts is that people quit. I told my coach last night, I said, I think we should have a program where they just come in and they sign up for like 1 year. If you can just keep them in for a year, odds are they're probably going to stick around a while. But when you bring them in and they think they have to be here 10 years to get their black belt, it's just too much for them. It's overwhelming. And I think a lot of people just can't see themselves doing that. It's probably why only 1 out of every 1,000 people get to a black belt. But at any rate, you don't have to be a black belt to be accomplished in martial arts. 1 good year of training and you're going to be able to handle yourself in in just about any kind of street scenario. Now, is it perfect? No, but you're going to have 100 times more skill, ability to defend yourself in a bad situation. Just give yourself a year, man. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life. Just hang in there for a while, get some good skill, drill it, practice it, do some tournaments, which are not exactly like a street fight, but as close as you're going to get without a street fight. And acquire some of those skills. I see you over here chomping at the bit.
Your year analogy, boy, that crosses over to so many different things. I know in my world with marketing and advertising.
I thought I was your world.
Well, you are, Ron. Okay. Today you are. I tell my clients too. All the clients that hang in there for a year, trying to rebrand or trying to get something off the ground, it's almost always successful if they hang in there that long. A lot of people are impatient. They want instant gratification. Yep. They want it now.
Yep.
And if they hang in there for a year, and you know what? Then we'll swing this back around to everything that you talk about: setting goals, creating new habits, trying to better yourself. If you do those things over the course of a year, they're going to turn into habits that will make you more successful.
Speaking of successful, today I was thinking a lot about my routine every day. When I come into the office in the morning, the first thing I do is call every client from the day before. And I thank them for their business, and I ask them if everything is okay. I feel like two things are going to happen. One, they're going to appreciate that I'm showing respect. And number two, if there is a problem, I want to hit it right now. I don't want to wait a week later and I get a call or a letter and this and that. I want to know it right away so I can correct it. Well, over the course of many years from doing that, I've developed a lot of repeat business, a lot of referral business. And in business, Brent talks to me about that as being like, free money, because you don't have to spend advertising money to create that call, which is
because you already have.
You already have. So I say that to say this to you guys, that if you stay the course, like he was suggesting, and you don't give up, over the course of time, you're going to have a lot of rewards that are just naturally going to come your way. Like working out every day. Look, I wound up with a cold last week, but I noticed even with the cold, when I went to the gym I still went to the gym every day. I did about a 90% workout, 80% workout. I didn't want to not go in, but I didn't want to also push so hard that I made myself sick again, and or my recovery would be worse. So I did a modified approach. But I noticed that I could still do it. And I thought to myself, at my age, if I wasn't working out every day, I don't know, maybe that wouldn't have happened. And then now I've been able to recover about 95% of just a few days. And I say to myself, it's got to be a credit to working out, to doing what's not comfortable every single day, staying that course, having a good habit, staying with the good habits. And then as a result of that, there's a reward. The reward is you can get through illness and get over it faster. Your recovery time's just better, and you feel better. I feel great today. So that's good stuff, man. I don't always like to talk about myself, but that's a real good example, I think, to give to you, so you can think to yourself, hey, man, if he can do it, I can do it. It's not that complicated, man. And when I work out, here's another little secret. I go in with the idea that, hey, I've got this particular goal that I want to accomplish today. But if I can't make it because my energy level's low, I didn't sleep good, something's happening physically, okay, I'm still there. I can still do what I can do. And if it's not 100%, you know what? I'm still feeling better about myself for being there and doing something, right? So don't kill yourself. Don't beat yourself up, guys. That's a bad thing to do. And I see it happening with a lot of my friends. Don't do that. Pat yourself on the back, man, for making the effort. Be your own best cheerleader. That's something that I learned a long time ago. Look, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall back. You're going to have a bad day. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to be angry. That's just life. Okay, take a deep breath. Step back. Remind yourself how lucky you really are. And a couple minutes later, start over again. And you'll probably find yourself in a lot better frame of mind. I use that technique all the time. Nobody's perfect, guys. If you're around people that are going to try to make you feel like you got to be perfect, you know what? They're the wrong kind of people. And I have been through that in my life a lot of times. And I look back on my life and I think, wow, how did I fall victim to some of these people? It's just easy to do because we're human beings, man. We're not perfect. We're going to screw up. We're going to make bad decisions. Sometimes we do things with emotions instead of logic, and it's okay. It's okay to fail. I have failed and failed and failed and failed and failed and failed thousands of times, but I've also had some successes. And guess what? You can't put a price tag on experience. That's a powerful thing, man. Engage in life. Engage in the process. Do things that are not comfortable. Fail, have problems, because when you go through that, guys, you're going to get stronger and smarter and have more understanding about everything. Don't hold yourself back. Try. Keep trying. What's the old saying? If you don't succeed at first, try again.
Michael Jordan said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Ooh, that's a powerful one.
Yeah, you can't make them if you don't try.
Man, that's powerful. If at first you don't succeed, no. I'd rather try and fail as do nothing and succeed. Same idea.
Yeah.
You got to just you got to go for it, man.
Yeah.
I think back, like in my jiu-jitsu career, all the times that I've competed and how many times I've won compared to how many times I've lost. But you know what? I would not trade it for anything because it builds such character in your. You learn to move forward in spite of how uncomfortable it is. You have to keep trying, guys. And sooner or later, you're gonna improve your skill level. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're old or young or big or little or smart or dumb or autistic. I have autistic students. I've got one autistic student that's just getting better and better. He's been at it about a year and a half. And I mean, it's amazing to me to watch this guy learn when we teach him things. He's getting to where he can grasp it right away and be able to execute it. It's like, wow, if he can do that, what excuse does anybody have, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one. That's I guess it's a brain thing. It's a brain illness maybe when you're born. Pretty much you're born with autism, I think. I don't think you can acquire it, can you?
I don't think so.
That's another subject for another day. We should dig into that more. I think people think that autistic people are stupid people. Bad how people talk down on people, belittle people. Don't ever do that, guys. Always encourage people. If you don't like somebody, you know what? Just get away from them. Just get away from them. I'm teasing. Look, you don't have to spend time with anybody. People make the mistake of thinking that they feel this obligation. Screw that, man. Your life is more important than anything. You have to recognize that when you spend time with the wrong people, you're going to pay a bad price for that. And it's going to linger and linger and linger. And you can't do that. We talked about self-respect the other day, making poor choices about, and poor judgments about letting people disrespect you and accepting that. No, don't do that. Get away from these people, man. You're better off to be alone is to be around the wrong kind of people. I'm telling you, not just from, studying these things, but from personal experience. Oh boy. Okay, so this particular subscriber, back to that conversation, asked me, how do I deal with challenges without being depressed? So we're kind of talking about it right now. The idea is that these challenges are very disturbing and uncomfortable. And she didn't get into, or he, I think it was a she, did not get into what the challenges were, but obviously they were pretty bad because it's making her feel really sad, right? Depressed, sad. My comment about that is, just like I've been talking about, you have to do things to strengthen yourself every single day. The physical exercise, the emotional thing where you spend time with quality people to be uplifting yourself every day, complimenting yourself. So you build a stronger sense about yourself. So when these things come along, you don't just give in and you don't get discouraged and say, I can't deal with this. You hit things head on is what I'm trying to say. Head on. And if it's uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable. But when you come up with a solution, guess what? You are going to feel like $1 million and you're not going to be depressed anymore.
Another tip too, didn't you just say overcoming challenges? Okay.
Yes.
So I think that word plural, challenges, I think you take one challenge at a time. Don't try to fix everything all at once. Take each challenge one at a time.
Or it's too overwhelming.
And come up with a plan and fix it and then move on.
And write it down, guys.
Write it down.
I'm big.
Or type it in.
Or type it in on the computer or your phone, which I should use, but I'm old school. Somehow list it.
Or talking to your phone.
Talking to your phone, where you can see it. And like he said, take it one item at a time.
Yeah.
Don't overwhelm yourself.
Check them off.
Check them off. That's what I do every day. I check them off. Check them off. And you know what? I never run out of something to do. I got a long list.
Yeah.
Man. But that's because I engage in a lot of activities. I'm never shy about trying to do things. I'm never comfortable settling where I'm at. I'm always trying to find a way to improve myself psychologically, physically, emotionally, financially, all the different ways, right? And when you do that, you're going to expose yourself to challenges. It's not going to be comfortable, but it's okay. That's how you build character. So I hope we gave her a little bit of insight in this conversation about how to deal with challenges. Yeah. I'm not saying there's anything magical about it. You have to be uncomfortable sometimes, quite often.
Yeah, and you've done it often enough to where you're quite a character.
I am a character.
You built a lot of character.
I built a lot of characters. I have a lot of characteristics.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Oh, boy, here we go. Okay, next subscriber said to me, I think this was from last week, and I forgot to bring it up.
Bad.
I know.
Bad job, Ron.
Imagine that. She said, or he said, that the subscriber said to us, "Hey, I would like some tips on how to become fearless when it comes to making decisions." So that's kind of goes a little bit along with the idea of challenges, because it's an uncomfortable arrangement, apparently, to this person to make decisions. There's another old saying: to make a decision is to have the weight of the weight of the world off of your shoulders. So I don't care if it's a little decision or a big one. A decision is a decision, and it's not comfortable to try to make one. What do I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? What about this? What about that? Oh, if I do this, if I do that, oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, I get it, guys. I get what she's saying. The key is make the decision. Even if it's wrong, you're going to feel better about yourself. And you know what? After a while, you're going to realize it was a good decision or a bad one. If it's a bad one, you're going to know pretty quick, probably. And guess what? You have to reverse it, put it to the side, find another way to deal with whatever that is. So make the decision. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Don't put it off.
Well, I think too, it depends on how quick you have to make that decision.
Good point.
I think if it needs to be made right away, right now, then yes, go ahead and make the decision. You can always go back and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I did say to do this, but I think this is a better way now than that I've thought through it." But I wouldn't call it being fearless. I call it being organized, taking a situation or a challenge, making the list, and as you make the list and you check it off, all these challenges you're fixing, it's not that you're fearless, you're prepared and you put some thought into it and you made it happen. That's being organized and thoughtful about those decisions if you have the time to do that. If you don't have the time, yes, make the decision.
I think organized is a real key word, what you just said. Stay organized.
Yeah.
Write it down. Yeah. Put it in your phone. Whatever you have to do to where you have a source where you can constantly review all these items and just stick with it, man. But the biggest takeaway I want to get across to people today is don't kick the can down the road. I don't care what it is in your life, man. Hit it now. Hit it head on. You can like President Trump or not like him, but the one thing about this guy, he hits everything head on every single day, right on, right now, period. And no matter what comes back his way, whether it's good or bad response, it doesn't matter. He stays his course. And I think that's a great example setting. Helps me a lot whenever I'm wavering. What do I do? What do I do? No, Ron, hit it head on. Figure it out. Call that person right now. Make that decision right now, particularly if it's the right thing to do.
Do you know anybody that's kicked the can down the road?
I wonder where that came from.
I don't know, but if they're kicking a can, that means somebody littered.
Yes, that's not good.
And I guess you should pick it up and put it in the trash. Don't kick it.
Pick it up, put it in the trash.
Yeah.
I was talking earlier about people coming in the gym and wanting to learn how to defend themselves because they're bullied. They've been bullied their whole life, and they don't know. They can't stand up to intimidation. So I thought about. I remember my black belt said to me one time. He said, "Knowledge creates confidence, and confidence replaces fear." And fear is a big problem, man. You know, we're afraid of
knowledge.
Creates confidence, and confidence replaces fear.
I love that.
Yeah, it's powerful, huh? So, knowledge. That's why you have to go to schools, whether it's a martial arts school or college or high school or private lessons or whatever. Knowledge is powerful.
And that knowledge can come from people that that you respect or look up to that you can hang with, or you can just go to Google.
Google's got everything going on, man.
It does.
Google's some kind of place, man. I can't remember their names, but their names. One of the two owners was named Sergey something. I think he had like a Russian name, and the other one I can't remember. But those guys are like gazillionaires, man. And they were young when they did it too. They were in college, but they put it together. At any rate, a correction from last week. I screwed it up. We're talking about leaves to like turn the page. What's the other saying? A new lease on life. We didn't talk about that one.
No, we just talked about leaves.
Turning the page.
Turn over a new leaf.
Turn over a new leaf.
Turn over a new leaf. Yeah.
Turn over a new leaf.
Yeah.
And turn the page. Well, a page is a leaf. LEAVE. That's what a page. That's another name for a page in a book.
Oh.
And I was talking about a leaf in like a table. That was all wrong.
Yeah, and I was talking about a leaf that falls off a tree.
So when they say turn the page, it's like turning over a new leaf. It's because the leaf is a page.
Ah.
But what about what I just
made out of wood?
Yeah,
tree.
okay. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, maybe it was.
But what about what I just said? I forgot about that. Turning over a new lease on life. That's a good one.
Yeah. Didn't like the old lease.
Lease.
I know. If you didn't like the old lease, you need a new lease. Maybe you need to move. If you don't like where you're leasing.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of leasing, I can't believe the prices of paying rents and prices of homes. It's just bizarre.
Woo.
Gotten so high. I saw a house the other day in little old Springfield, Missouri, where we're at. $160,000. I mean, it's just a little bitty nothing house. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
It's gone crazy. $1,500 a month to rent a house.
Well, more
than that. More than that.
Funny you bring this up. I just had a conversation with a customer today that has a guy he knows he does business for. This guy used to build homes and subdivisions for a living. He now he buys property, builds all these homes, and rents them out, leases them. But you have to be 55 or older.
Oh.
And he has them all leased all the time. And these are brand new homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, which is crazy.
So he's now in the leasing business.
And he said, I think he's got like over 300 homes he's leasing now. And he's been doing this for about 10 years.
Let's figure 15, that's $20 grand a year times 300, that's $600,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's $7 million a year in revenue.
Yeah. And right now he's got another subdivision he's working on. So, most these guys usually build homes and sell them.
Right.
But he's got 3 or 4 or 5 always in a certain stage of building.
Wow.
Just started or
that's an impressive success story.
Yeah. So he's taken a new angle.
Speaking of success stories, I have a Jim success story to tell you.
I know Jim.
You know Jim.
You know Jim? Jim. Oh, you mean the workout place, Jim? Okay, go ahead.
My comedian over here. So my friend at the gym, I was talking to her the other day, and I've talked about her before. I have a couple friends. Can you believe that?
You do?
Yeah, it's
at
amazing.
The gym.
Yeah, at the gym. It's amazing. So she was telling me that she had lost 6 pounds, and I said, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I said, you don't really need to do that, I don't think. You look great. You fit. Oh, no, I feel better about myself. I said, that's cool. I said, well, how'd you do it? So I gave up the wine. She said, I didn't realize for the past 15 years I've been drinking wine every night since I gave up dope or drugs. She used to be like a drug addict. And you'd never know it to look at her because she's a very successful person. It's great family life. She's got a great professional life, very organized, works out every day, looks beautiful, fit, whatever. But she had this wine thing, and she said, I gave it up. And she told me how difficult it was. She said, I thought it'd be really easy. And she told me how each week went, and it was like, the first week was, horrible. The second week was really bad too, but maybe just a little better, and on and on and on. And finally, it took her about 6 or 7 or 8 weeks, she said, but she was able to kick the habit. And I thought to myself,
good for her.
Great story, but it proves my point that you're going to have to suffer when you have to give up an addiction. There's no other way around it, man. I've had a few people say, oh, yeah, it was easy for me to quit smoking. It was easy for me to quit doing drugs. Okay, well, whatever.
That's not the majority.
That's not the majority. Pretty much, guys, if you got an addiction, you better plan on some suffering and some struggle. Mm-hmm. And it's okay because it's not going to last forever. A few months, a few weeks, a while. But you're going to get through it. And you're going to feel great about yourself when you get done. And your body's going to thank you for a lot of years, I promise you. How are we doing on time?
Amazing.
Amazing. I better shut up. We're probably about breaking news.
Oh, I have a lot.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. There's been a new Guinness World Record broken. Okay. There's a guy by the name of David Rush. He's a juggler.
He's a juggler.
He took 3 apples and he juggled them. He juggled these apples and took 198 bites out of the apple while juggling the apples for 1 minute.
How do you... I don't understand how you do
I guess
that.
as it's flying through the air, he takes a bite and he catches it, and he takes a bite and catches it.
I'd like to see that.
It's UPI
Not necessarily
News.
Right now, but I'd like to see that he can do something.
Here, I'll show you. I
That's
got a video right here. Whoops.
I thought I'm doing stuff
internet?
that's hard. Wow.
Okay, we're going to watch him. You ready?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. There he goes.
Oh my God. That's too much, man.
Oh, he spit it out.
Oh, he spits it out.
He did it.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Crazy, isn't it?
That's crazy, man.
Woo.
Whoa.
Okay. Then, for those of you that like plums, today is National Plum Pudding Day.
Plum pudding day.
Never heard of that. And here's one everyone's going to like. It's National Hug Day. It says, share warmth and love by hugging a loved one or a stranger today. Don't know about hugging strangers. You might get punched or kicked.
Yeah,
but it's National Hug Day. And then, personally, I just got to share.
Okay.
Because it is an accomplishment.
Okay.
And it wasn't easy.
Fair enough.
We went through trials and tribulations. Today is my wife and I's wedding anniversary, 41 years.
41 years.
Yeah. That's a number.
Wow.
That's a number.
Does it seem like 41 years?
We defy, seems longer. Just kidding. No. We defy all the statistics. Huh?
It's a good thing she doesn't watch our podcast.
That's right. Oh, man,
You'd be in the doghouse.
Nah, she'd be fine.
She'd be fine.
Yeah, we're good. That's why we're still together.
41 years.
Yeah, we defy the statistics.
You do, man. I don't know anybody that's lasted that long.
But it's not handed to you. You have to earn it. You have to work at it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. And you have to compromise, and you have to discuss, and you have to talk, and you have to communicate, and you have to be honest. And, there's a lot of things that go into it. So,
I guess what you're trying to say would have been easier just to have parted ways.
Yeah. That's, and I don't know why some people get married, and I don't know why they get divorced. But did we have hard times? Did we even possibly consider it at one point? Yeah, but we talked through it. We figured it out.
Well, you're a good communicator. Most people can't. They're not going to do that. That's why the divorce rate is so high.
Yeah. We're in an age of instant gratification, and people got to have it now. And this is something you got to work at, man. You do, because life changes. When you're first married, you have no kids. It's a certain relationship, and then when you have kids, it's a certain relationship. When the kids are teenagers, it's a certain relationship. When the kids are gone, it's a certain relationship.
Wow.
So I tell everybody, it reminds me, it's like a book of life, and there's many chapters. And every chapter brings on new challenges and exciting times and sad times. But you just got to hang in there and make a list and stick to it. I have a long
list. I love lists.
Yes, me too.
Well, that's cool. Not as cool as you, but it's pretty cool.
Oh well, today that's the exciting day. Oh, and then don't forget Friday, 2 days, Valentine's Day.
Wow, Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Go buy a box of chocolates. or
if you don't have a Valentine, guys, at least just walk up to a strange girl or a strange guy and wish them happy Valentine's Day and give them a hug. and hope that they don't turn around and slap you or
be
kick
careful.
you or something. Pass the love along, guys.
Yep.
Well, that be it, do you think, for today?
That's it. That's all I got.
Man, parting is such sweet sorrow. I hate it when things come to an end. But
Sorry to hear you're under the weather. I hope you get over the weather.
over the weather. Listen, I'm
tomorrow.
1,000,000% better than I was.
Good.
I'm about 95%.
Awesome. You sound a little
I sound a little off,
off,
but
but of course you are.
I am a little off anyway. Well, guys, listen. I shouldn't maybe say that to people. It sounds like maybe I'm too bossy. Listen. No,
it's the way you
that's
say
the way I say it. Listen, guys and girls, guys and gals.
Figure of speech.
Figure of speech.
Trying to get their attention.
Here's the deal. Here's the dealio. All said and done, all kidding aside, do something nice for yourself. Be good to yourself. Focus on yourself. It's cool to be chasing feel-goods. It's cool to do things for other people. But look, man, you got to do stuff for yourself. Because if you're not good, nobody around you is going to be good. You have to set the pace for everything. And you're not going to get there if you're not really concentrating on trying to improve your life. I'm not going to get into all the details again because we're closing the podcast out right now. But you know what's up. We talk about it every week, all the rules that you got to follow. And they're not complicated. Just follow the rules for your benefit, not for my benefit, for your benefit. To have a happier life. It's not that complicated. Okay. I'll shut up now. So look, just remember, if you don't give up, the stars are going to line up eventually. And you're going to feel great about yourself. So up until that time, and even during that time, always keep your head up, keep your chin up, and stay positive.